Let's go ahead and wiggle the fingers and massage the floor with your toes. And then just root your feet down into the ground. It's going to kind of look a little funny and weird, but I want you to wiggle your fingers and toes and then let the rest of your body follow whatever your fingers and toes are doing. So your toes are going to be pressing into the ground and your fingers are in the air, so you have to create a little bit of resistance and then just add a little bounce or some curves, but let the movement come from the toes and the fingers. So you're feeling from these sensory points. Okay, now just release that and just shake the arms. And actually make the body nice and still and just shake the arms and notice what happens when you just isolate. Good. Now just shake the hips. Let the arms drop. And make some noise if you need to kind of integrate the sound. Good. And then pause that shake. Now move as many body parts as you can all at the same time. Go. They can move in curves, they can move fast, they can move slow. You can sweep, you can reach, you can stretch, and then stop. Good. Wiggle fingers and toes. Massage the earth with your feet. Massage the air with your hands. Good. Good. Now bring some movement into the rest of your body from the prompting of your hands and feet, like they're speaking to you and the rest of your body is following their voice. Woo, what are you going to say next? Good. Now just shake the arms. Go. Shake. Shake a little harder. Good. Release the arms. Shake your hips. Just the hips. Just the hips. Just the hips. Just the hips. Good. Awesome. Now move your whole body. Now start to bring some sort of a throw or swing to it. Good. So you're just moving easily, but from momentum, the momentum that the push brings. Whatever's pushing you. Good. Nice. Good. And then bring your hands together. Give them a rub. I know that feels so good just to move freely, right? Good. And then add a little movement of the feet, so a little pitter patter, but not a bouncy one. Just pick up your feet. So you're sensitizing your hands and your feet. And now glue the feet down. Press the palms and hold. Pull your shoulders back. Then close your eyes and push a little harder and a little harder. Now suck your belly in and reach your sitting bones back. Push your hands into each other. Pull your hips back. Sit your hips down more. And now give it all you got for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up nice and tall. Release the push. Take it into a jog.
All right, Beth. Sorry to interrupt, but you want to record. Is it recording?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It usually shows it.
Oh, I'm recording from my phone.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But that was always forget about that. Thank you. I'll remember that for next time. Because I keep making more videos on my phone. Good. Let's take it into a run. Good. Now let's take it, the run, the energy that you bring to the run into a shift. Shift, 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 shift. Good. So nice wide stance, side to side to side. Now back to a run, so zip it up. So we're going to alternate between those two things. Widening the base and narrowing it. Go back to the shift, shift, shift. Like you're doing a skater all around your room. You are doing a skater all around your room. Good. Back to the run. Go. Good. Zip it up. Bring your energy. Zip it all the way in. Bring it all the way in. Good. Shift. Go. Skater. Shift. Push. Push into the ground. Now pull your shoulders back so your body doesn't collapse forward. Good. Back to the run. Go. Run. Keep your head upright, clarify. So lift your ears, lift your eyes, swing your arms. Good, shift, 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 shift. I know I'm not giving you much warning when I change it, so keep listening, keep listening. Good, run. Zip it up, zip it up, zip it up, zip it up. Shift. Run. Shift. Run. And now you alternate on your own. So shift and run. And notice where you need to kind of bring yourself together to come back to the run. Or maybe the shift and the run collaborate. They become a different thing when you melt them together or bring them together. Woo! Woo! Good. Now plant your feet and shake. Quake, actually. Plant your feet, quake. So let's release something that we've been holding on to through the quake. Just let it flow out. Ah. Ah. So whatever sound comes out of you, let that come out of you. Good. Now, step your left foot underneath you. Kick your right leg forward, take your arms out to the sides. Now point your right toes. And then cross your right leg over to the left. And bring it back to center and lower it down. Let's do the other side. Left leg lifts. Cross it over to the right. Bring it forward and lower it down. Turn your toes out. Arms out to the side. Stretch your right leg out to the right. Cross it all the way over to the left. Bring it all the way to the right and back down. And then left side, left extends. Cross it over to the right. Bring it out to the side and back down. And then the arms can extend again as the right leg reaches back. Cross it over to the left. Woo! Don't worry if you lose balance. Center and come back. And then arms extend, left leg back. Stretch it over to the right. Bring it back to center and together. Let's go back to an easy, slow motion shift. Take some time to feel the drop in energy as you shift from leg to leg. Maybe you find curves here. So you're staying in a wide base here as you're shifting your weight. Now let's not forget about the arms. So find the thread of your arms as you're exploring this wide open shape you're making. So taking up lots of space. Finding your legs. Good, now let's bring the leg work that we just did into it. Right leg lifts, right? And then cross it. And then left leg lifts. Cross it over. Right leg extends out to the side. Cross it to the other side. Good. And I'm not really giving you much of a rhythm here. You can kind of work with this, your own exploration, right? Taking it slower than me or faster. Don't worry if you lose balance. And then on your own, so that was what you can work with. Extending, crossing, extending. Yeah, don't worry if you go out of order. Maybe you repeat a side. Or you just start to play with all of these different places that you can extend out from the midline and then crossing it. And make sure that you've got juice here. So fall into movement if you need a little extra momentum. Woo, if you get a little too stuck in the balancing, alternate legs. Right, so it can be a little chaotic. You don't have to actually think about it too much. Notice which leg leads the way. That's really nice, everybody. Good. Let your arms curve be relaxed, right? There's no rigidity in the body here. Good. And then let's add the weight shift to that stretch of the legs. Maybe the foot stays on the ground. It crosses over the midline. It extends out, right? So now we're layering the tasks of shifting weight, swinging legs, exploring space from the inside out, right? From the center to the periphery. And then add a little lift to this. So it's almost like a loping quality, right? So you're rising and falling, taking it up and down. Nice. Beautiful. Good. Let's take it back to an easy jog now. And notice if the feeling of jogging has changed for you. Now make it a lot about the up part of the jog. So up, maybe you have little moments of a hiccup, or like a hiccup, or like popcorn. Woo! Good. And then let's fall into curves. So making as many curves through your body as you can. Let's add resistance right away. So you're grabbing the flesh, you're letting the bones move. And then let's get even more specific, like we're pushing the water forward and away, right? Like a swim stroke. Use your palms, the palms of your hands, to push the space. And then maybe add the feet, so pushing the space away from you, accessing from the center point, right? And then maybe you cross the midline as you push and create more space for yourself. Don't forget about other parts of your body like your ribs, your front ribs and your back ribs. Ooh, moving as many parts of you in curve, resisting, pushing the air away, adding the feet when you can. Good. Let's take it back to a jog. Now create some resistance in the jog. So swing your arms, bring your knees up. Awesome. Good. So now it's almost add a little too much effort, and notice how that constricts you, right? So notice how that, yeah, if you push a little too hard, it's actually not efficient, it constricts you. Now back off, 10%. And then let's do a happy dance with it. Moving around your space, shifting weight, and adding the energy of that light run, that freedom that you just brought to it. You brought the energy, you made it a little bit too much, and then you backed off just a little bit to help you find momentum. Good. Good, let's run in a circle. Now you could run in your circle facing front, or you could turn your gaze around. Around and around and around. I didn't even try to time that one. Good, reverse your circle. Woo! Make some noise if you want to. I can see your bodies, can't hear your voices. Woo, woo, woo. Good, awesome. And now let the wind take you in any direction, circling forward and back. So be taken by the intention to move. So we're inside, so the wind can't blow us, but our intention to not think about it and just let our body move. That's how we find this energy. Good, now you decide. Go in any direction you want to go into. So use your eyes, change your mind, keep going. I know it's a lot to work with. Good, and then float. Woo. So negate gravity like you're on the molecular level, right? So your body gets lighter. Even if you fold into yourself. Good, let's keep this floating quality, but let's create gentle folds. So fold to the right, and then come back up, fold over to your left. back up. Fold forward, touch the ground. Come on back up. Little curve or fold backwards, looking up, dropping back. Let's do it again. To the right, and stand, and to the left, and stand, and forward, and stand up, and backwards. And keep going. Let's go a little faster. Side, and forward, and back. Again, side, and forward, and back. And you could add some swing to it, and swing now becomes more like a curving, and back, and to the right, and to the left, and forward, and one more time, a little faster. Right, left, forward, back, and bring it into a shake. Whoa, shake, 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 shake. Ears, skin, eyes, hair, hips, legs, kneecaps, fingertips, toes. Good, and then stretch it all out. Stretch arms and legs, and let's come to a nice wide stance here. So that the echo of that shake is still in your skin, and then bend your knees, and start to tilt your body forward. Straighten your legs as you get halfway, and then reach your right hand to the ground and your left arm high. And taking a twist in Prasarita Padottanasana. And just go ahead and come through center. Our right arm extends to the right, body's folded halfway. Now left hand down, right arm high. Good. Come back through center. Use your legs, charge them up. Bend your right knee, reach for your left ankle with your right hand. Good, come back through center, arms extend. Bend your left knee, reach for your right ankle, and twist. Good, now stay in a forward fold. Reach your right hand over to the left shin. Right arm is over left arm. So the arms are crossing, and my right hand is my left shin, and my left hand is my right shin. Okay, now push your legs out to the sides, and push your arms into each other and drop your head. Lifting your sitting bones and you out, but don't worry about a straight leg. And then go ahead and release your hands from your legs. You'll keep the cross of your arms and come on up to stand, eagle wrapping the arms. Step your left foot underneath you. Actually, step your right foot underneath you. Kick your left leg forward. Cross it over to the right. Kick your left leg forward, send it back, straight back with your eagle arms. If you can't cross your wrists, you hug yourself. Now cross your left leg over to the right, and then curtsy pose. Swing your arms out to the sides and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to the ground, left leg high, stretch it up. And then explore the space with your left leg extended out to the sides, both sides. So don't be shy of that stretch, right? Don't worry too much about it. Your body will show you where the boundary is. Explore the space with that left leg. Stretch it high. Bring the knee in. Do all the things that your leg loves to do in the air. Open up the hip, then close the hip. Feel into where your pelvis is relating to itself, right and left sides. Oh, let it feel good. And then go ahead and lower your left foot down and round yourself slowly up to stand. Good, step your feet wide. Now flex your hands and straighten your legs. Take a side lean to your right. It's kind of rigid, right? And you might have to stop somewhere before you even get all the way there. And then push your hands away from each other. And then notice how my left side lifted a lot and my right side kind of dragged down. Now I want you to see if you can reach your right ribs out to the right. Come on back up. It's the makings of triangle pose. Take it on over to the left. Let your left side just sort of collapse for a moment. Let your right side win and lift. And then keep all that on the right side, but extend the left ribs. Good, bring yourself upright. Now keep all this, fold forward halfway, bend your knees if your hamstrings need you to. And we're gonna twist on the rhythm or on a rhythm, just tapping and tapping and tapping. It's a little Jack LaLanne, I know. Tap and tap and tap. Who is that anyway? I'm dating myself here. Tap and tap and tap and tap. Let's go for 10, 9, 8. Move from your rib. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now tap opposite ankle and bend the knee. Tap for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left hand comes to right ankle. Bend your left knee. And then straighten both legs. Thread your right arm underneath your left arm. Now it goes under. And then pull your shins apart. Lift the arches of your feet so your legs are pushing into your hands and your hands are holding them so they don't spill out to the sides. And then the arms are pushing into each other to widen the scapula on your back. And then bend the knees, release your hands from your legs. Eagle wrap your arms. Come on up to stand now. Your left leg steps underneath you. Right leg goes forward. Woo! And then work that right leg across to the left. And center. It would be a good day to do tree pose, it being Earth Day. And then stretch your right leg back. And maybe cross the midline with your right leg in the air. And then put your hands on the ground. Right leg explores the space. You might find a little bounce. We got a good rhythm going in the music. Explore the space with your right leg. Hands are on the ground or blocks. Let your hip close and open. Just feel what muscles are responding when you move your bones. And then what bones move when you engage your muscles. Oh! What are you feeling on the inside? No matter what the shape is on the outside. Good, lower your right foot to meet your left foot. Round yourself up. Let's dance. Good, so let's start with just our easy shift jog. Now the feet are close together and you're massaging the floor with your toes, with the balls of your feet or the moons, right? Notice when the heel strikes and start to just create the fantasy of the dancer in you. Good. Get down. Get down, get down. Good. Now add some extra thickness to it. So when you drop down, your legs really engage. Yes, Amy, that's awesome. Good. And when you come up, you almost like you're recoiling from the dropping, right? Almost a springing. Woo! Good. Nice, Elaine. Great, Julie, that looks amazing. Good, find that bounce. Keep your stance kind of on the narrower side. And now let's add the hips to it. Woo! Good, so a hiking up of one hip. Let's stand on one leg and just explore the hip. So I'm on my left leg. My right hip is lifting and lowering. Ooh, Good, and then just switch sides. Hiking up the left hip or whichever hip you're on. Notice how the hiking up of the hip affects the standing legs hip, right? Good, now bring this hip swing into your boogie. Good. So nice, you guys look great. Now bring a smile to your face. So your smile is doing the dance too. Good, now start to add the push. So keep your legs narrow, keep crossing the midline and find the push through your hands and feet as you explore crossing the midline with your arms and your legs, right? So it doesn't have to be dance-like, although it might have a sense of form to it. You could take this slowly if you like, if you want to really work the space. And I'll catch that curtsy pose in a moment because I missed it. Good. Cross, cross, cross. Find your way to the ground and back up again. Nice. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to stand on my left leg. My right leg's going to go behind, and I'm going to curtsy and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now, go ahead and stand up. Step your feet a little wider than your hips, but not as wide as your mat. And then bring a gentle curve circling to your hips here. And do the curve or make the circle from the catching of your low belly muscles, the catching of your ribs inward, and go the other direction. Grab the floor with your feet to move your hips. Grab the muscles of your center to move your hips. Now let's do this with the ribs. Circling, so keep your hips nice and stable. And now it might not be so much about the feet pushing into the ground, but you might feel an engagement in the legs helping prompt the movement of the torso. Go the other direction. Nice. And then go ahead and round yourself forward to the ground, hands to the ground, step your feet back, down dog. And then in your down dog, find the same circling of your ribs and your hips, sort of more chaotically now. So maybe the hips move and then the ribs follow. Maybe the ribs move and the hips follow. Maybe there's a shift forward and back in the body. Just notice what comes for you and comes to you. And then step your feet together so the inner edges of the feet come to touch. And then spread your toes nice and wide on your mat and just look at how that looks. And you're going to keep all the toe pads on the mat and lift your heels straight up. And then go to reach the heels towards the ground. They might not touch, but try to reach them straight down. So we're just getting deep into the calf muscles here. Inhale. And it doesn't matter if it's a perfect stance down dog, right? It doesn't have to be a long down dog. I just want you to get into the backs of your legs, your Achilles, your calves. That spreading of the toes will give you more of a sense of the surface area of the bottom of your feet, sensitizing you. Just 2 more or so. And then as you lower your left heel, lift your right leg high. Then cross your right leg over to the left. And then just like you're wagging your tail over to the left side of your mat, just wag your right tail. Yeah, wag with a straight leg. It's not easy. It's not easy for me at least. Keep going, 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Turn your toes out. Lower your back knee down. And let's circle the right knee to the right. And whereas in the fascia work we were doing last week, I had you drag your heel back as you pulled your hips back. Now let's do the opposite, just to confuse you. But really just kidding. But really just so you can feel the difference. So this is more about, let's call it a stretch rather than a flossing. Good. Okay. Now go ahead and come up to stand on your knees, toe heel your right foot more towards the center line, and then take your left hand outside your right leg, and you're going to reach your right arm behind you and start to pulse your right leg into your left hand as you pulse your right ribs or pull your right ribs back. And you can do this nice and slowly. Keep turning inward as you reach outward. Okay, release the movement of the leg. Slide your left elbow outside your right leg. Make a fist with your right hand. Put your right palm onto your left fist. Push down into your fist. Curl the back toes under. And then you're going to bend and straighten the back leg about 5 times. If you don't want to lift your back knee, you don't have to. Bend and straighten. And if you're jamming in your inner right groin or hip flexor, push the leg out into the arm. That's why we did that a second ago. Good. Release everything. Put your hands on the ground. Pick your hips up and then wag your tail, your real tail, your tail from side to side. Nice. Triangle pose from the ground up. You're going to keep your right hand where it is. Slide your left heel into the ground or swivel it down. Lift your left arm high and reach and open. See if you can find a little bit of snaking of your spine so it doesn't have to be a rigid. It won't be, it shouldn't be. There's no shoulds here, but it won't be a rigid triangle pose. It'll just be the shape that you can feel from the inside. Ooh, nice. That looks amazing, everybody. Okay, plank pose. She says casually. Let's find the movement of the hips and the ribs in plank pose, maybe bending the knees. So maybe it doesn't even qualify for as a plank, but you're on your hands and feet, and you're moving and you're pushing the ground away, and you're feeling the strength that you're building for yourself through your efforts. Hips are rotating, back ribs are lifting, ears are open. You're sensing and feeling all at the same time. And then let's come to the shape of plank. And without moving on the outside, see if you can keep even just a glimmer of that movement on the inside. So you stay very soft in your approach, even though it's a lot of work. Suck your belly in just for extra support, and then lower your knees down. Keep your toes tucked, child's pose. But keep your toes tucked so you open up the bottoms of the feet now. Forehead to the ground. On the second side, come forward. Left, the downward facing dog, so come forward to all fours and then to down dog. Right foot steps to the center line. Left leg lifts, and you'll start to wag your tail, your left tail to the right. Keep going. Let's go for 10. Now your right heel can be lifted or down on the ground. Whatever feels like it helps you do the movement more effectively. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then left foot steps outside, left hand. Back knee comes down. Let's just circle the knee out to the left. Stirring the bones. And then go ahead and pick yourself up, toe heel your left foot back to the center line. Right hand outside left thigh. Left hand reaches behind you. And then you're going to pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep all of that work, but slide that right elbow outside that left thigh. Make a fist with your right hand. Palm your fist with your left hand. And you can stay right here and work the twist. Or you can curl the back toes under for a little extra something something and bend and straighten the back leg for 5, 4, good, looks good everybody, 3, 2, don't lose your twist, and 1, good, hands to the ground, pick up your hips, wag your tail. You're going to just slide your right knee forward and sit down onto your heels or have a seat on your actual seat. Let's do some movement just to clear the lungs, the heart space. So go ahead and stretch your arms out to the sides. And usually I'll have you do a repetitive movement here, but for today we're actually going to freeform it. So focus on your scapula sliding down your back. Focus on the sternum lifting up. Yep, you can stand up for this, that's great. Yep, and you could explore the space through movement if you wanted to. I'm just having us sit for this last part. So notice the coiling of your heart back and the recoiling of your heart forward. Where do the ribs take you? If you were to move from the actual heart, you'd be really moving from the left side, right? If you're moving from the fingers, you'd probably have a recoiling back inward and then back outward. Lots of different ways to approach this. But just know that the hands are the servants of the heart here, and they're moving you. Nice. And then place your left hand on your heart and your right hand over your left hand. Let's just take a moment to honor our practice. Notice your heart beating underneath your hands. Notice the feeling of your breath as it fills your body. And we'll take an extra moment to honor the earth today. Our practice lovingly dedicated to the ground underneath us, glorious earth. And go ahead and bring your hands together in prayer at your heart center. Let's chant the sound of Om. Inhale. Thank you for sharing your light. Thank you for your presence. Namaste.